decisions have been made by the community of how we proceed going forward.
What decisions are these?
One, the decisions have been made. One, that we are through with the President William Ruto for 5 reasons. One, he has betrayed the mountain. Number 2, he deceived us that he'll work for us, he'll do our projects, he'll fix the economy, he'll make sure business is thriving. He has done the exact opposite. He has destroyed the health system. SHA is not working, patients are suffering. Today, the private hospitals have discontinued that program. The university financing model, he destroyed it. University students are at home.
Okay.
The economy is destroyed, overtaxation, destruction of business, evictions, demolitions. Really, you know, the country has come to a standstill. Again, another reason is that when the mountain started moving out from President William Ruto, he activated a criminal gang that was very notorious in the Mount Kenya region in circumcising women, beheading children, raping young girls. He activated that group in the mountain to cause problems, and the people are very bitter with that. Again, another issue that people are very bitter is the introduction of alcoholic illicit brews in the region that I, as Deputy President, had successfully dealt with. And because of those reasons, and the most recent one that has really, you know, annoyed the people of that region is his deliberate scheme to mobilize other communities against the mountain. You remember when he was in Mount Elgon, one of the MPs, one of his people, Wanyama, he told him to say that all other communities will gang up against the mountain people and isolate them. And since he spoke last, yet he claims every day that he's uniting the country, he never admonished him. You know, again, he has been using abusive language against the people of Kenya. That has really annoyed the people, calling people stupid, you know, saying they are possessed by demons, you know, and you know, lacking respect for the people. And the people who made him president, the mountain people, because their vote was very decisive, it was 43%. He has turned against them, so they are through with them. So what they have told me in those consultations is that we must be in the next government through 2 methods. One, to consolidate our votes to 8 million votes and look for other friends and have a presidential candidate from the mountain. If we find the numbers are okay, we proceed. If we find the numbers are not okay, because this politics is a game of mathematics, we are not selfish. We are willing to work with other people, you know. And Raila Odinga has been mentioned as a possible person we can work with. Kalonzo Musyoka has been mentioned. Eugene Wamalwa has been mentioned. Natebe has been mentioned. Even Matiang'i has been mentioned. And we are looking at all those options. And they have mandated me as their leader to continue engaging with everybody and come up with a formula, you know, where the mountain people will be in government through their political party. This time, you know, President William Ruto deceived me, and I joined him with my people without a political vehicle, and he shortchanged us, mistreated us, and he continues to do so. So we are going to have a political party with the mountain people and other Kenyans to engage everybody else.
All right.
And in fact, I was looking at it the other day with a few strategists from the region. And if we agree to support Kalonzo Musyoka, if we don't think we have the numbers, our first priority is that we are going to have a presidential candidate from the mountain, and we'll appeal to other Kenyans to support us. If we find it's not feasible, we'll support others. Kalonzo is an option. We looked at his numbers, our numbers and other numbers, and it's doable. Raila's is even more exciting, yeah, because Raila already has 6.8 million. We only beat him by 200,000 votes. If we agree to support him, we could. I told you it's a possibility. With the 6.8 plus our 6, I have looked at his voting pattern. He normally votes between 10 and 11 a.m. If we agree to support him, before he votes, he'll be president. That you can take to the bank.
Okay.
We are looking at the Mulembe nation.
Okay.
Their numbers are huge. a presidential candidate from the Mlembe Nation, supported by the Mlembe Nation when they are united. And I told them, I addressed them through the FM station. I said, Mlembe Nation, please unite. If the Mlembe Nation united and they have a candidate and we from the mountains supported them, they'll be president by 12 o'clock. The same with Matiang'i. So those are the discussions. Yep. And I want to confirm to the people of Kenya that we, the mountain people, are not selfish. We are very selfless. We will do anything for this country. If we feel that we need to support somebody else so that this country can be saved from the recklessness that is there, we will do it. We are on record that we have supported another candidate from another area, William Ruto, in a very difficult election, and he became president.
So can you support William Ruto again? Is that
no, William Ruto, we cannot support him. Okay. We are done with him. And it's also not good for the country.
Okay. I have to take you back because I asked you, well, why are you making sure that you decampaign members of parliament, not based on their track record, but because of their allegiance, their political allegiance?
I am not decampaigning anybody for whatever reason. The mountain people hate betrayal. Ask William Ruto, he's a beneficiary of the community's district for betrayal. But they are even more angry when they are betrayed by their own. The community has told me. It's not me, I don't have a problem. By the way, I'm a very forgiving man. I'm a very staunch Christian. My wife here is a pastor, and she talks to me about forgiveness all the time. And she doesn't allow me to have a bitterness. She makes sure that I'm always amiable and open to forgive anybody.
Okay.
All those people who were against me, I've forgiven them. But they were also against the community. They made sure the community is embarrassed. The community became the laughing stock of other communities. When other communities are running behind their own, them, for cheap money, they betray their own community. The community has an issue with them. It's not me. And if they come to me and persuade me that they'll work for the best interest of the community and the country, I am willing to take them along.
So if your people tell you
but they have
to
a
work
job
with President William Ruto,
but they have a job, the people have already told me they don't want. Okay. Already, I've consulted them and I asked them. I asked them, can I work with William Ruto? They said no. He has betrayed us. It's over.
That's it.
He cannot. We don't. You know, betrayal in my community is a taboo. It's an abomination. It is never forgiven. It is punished. And I can tell you, many people that I've talked to will come up will be on the queue at 3 a.m. not to vote for anybody, but to vote somebody out. So those MPs, let them go and talk to the people, not me. I have no problem against them. Let them go and convince the people who elected them that they'll work for their best interest, that they will not put their stomachs first, that they will not be used by William Ruto against the community. Because what is annoying the community is when the president has put people together in a meeting to abuse the community and call them tribalists and call them stupid and call them primitive. Members of parliament and senate from our area normally clap for him. Our people are very bitter because of that one. So if they can go and convince the people that they mean well, that they have reformed, that they will not betray them, that they have changed their character, that they can be relied upon to defend them and their interests, fine. Yesterday I was in Meru. Mother Kome is being fought by the president. The senator is not speaking. The MPs are not speaking. People are bitter. You know, people are livid. And they are waiting for them in 2027 because they are saying, how can our daughter be ostracized? And you are there clapping for the man who is doing that and you are doing nothing about it. So another communities don't do that. And they are saying, they have noted, they looked at what happened in the defense of Wetangula by the people of Western. They looked at how Nurdin Haji was defended by the people from Northeastern Province. But the people of the mountain, the president is using them against their own people by paying them small money. So they have a big problem with the people, not with me. So it's not me who is campaigning them. It is the people who tell me we want nothing to do with those characters. Who am I? Me, I'm a servant of the people. I listen to the people.
Okay, well noted. So you seem to hint that perhaps a grand coalition like NAC in 2002 might be in the offing. How do you ensure all your interests are aligned? Because if you fool me once, shame on me. If you fool me twice, shame on you.
Yes, that's why I'm developing
A political
and I'm happy. In fact, this is God sent. I have 2 years. I have time to craft a very serious political party. And by the way, I do admire Raila Odinga and ODM. We may have had problems with Raila Odinga, but give it to him. He crafted a very serious political machine that has been there for 20 years. Again, the quality of leaders that are elected at the ODM is admirable. In fact, I will be going to ODM for benchmarking. I must talk to Raila Odinga. I must ask him, Mzee, how did you craft this machine? How have you kept it going for 20 years? You know, ODM is admirable. So I have 2 years to craft a very serious political machine. I'll make sure that in whatever coalition we go with whoever, our interests are well anchored through a watertight agreement so that again nobody will ever deceive us. Okay. We are all feeling very foolish as a people. In fact, one of the burden that I carry that is very heavy on me, that sometimes weighs me down, is just how foolish I feel at times. That I was deceived by Ruto because he was a Christian, he came with the Bible, I believed him. I never even asked we sign anything. I was so naive, I was so trusting. I sometimes it weighs me down, I cry at night. How foolish could I have been? And I'm a student of political science. But we say once bitten, twice shy. This time we'll be careful. I have very serious elders who advise me. I have very serious former civil servants who advise me. I have professionals, I take advice because I made wrong decisions and I sank my people into shame. I sank my people into desperation. God giving me another chance. I will not repeat that mistake. It's a commitment that I've given to my people that I'll be very, very careful in whatever arrangement I get into. It must be watertight. I must have very proper professional advice by lawyers, by people who have been in politics. Okay. And that consultation is going on day and night. You know, I sleep past midnight every day. I consult and I'll continue consulting. And from next week now, I'm consulting other regions because we want to work with the people of Kenya. Forget about what people say that I'm tribal. You know, Rogers, eh?
And don't say politics is local.
Politics is local. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. How do you go to organize your neighbor's house when yours is in disorder? You first organize your house, your wife, your children, you make sure you are talking the same language, then you go and visit the neighbor. But you cannot leave your house, your wife is sleeping in a different bedroom, your children are not talking to each other, then you are going to the neighbor to tell them how they should stay together as a family. So I needed first to put my house in order. That's what a clever politician does. And I have done that successfully. Okay. Now that I have completed the unity of my people, and by the way, the president tried to divide Mount Kenya East and West. I stopped him and I'll never allow him. It will never happen. And that is why Embu is a no-go zone for him. And that is Mount Kenya East. You know, he said condolence messages there, they are rejected. And that is Mount Kenya East because the mountain people are clever and they know their strength is their unity. So now that I have more or less completed 98% uniting my people to speak the same language, to have a single political party that is strong, now we are reaching out to other Kenyans, like-minded Kenyans, so that we can work together.
Do you think you will shake off that regional tag, that tribalist tag?
I don't need to shake it because it's not a bad tag. It's an identity. I'm Kikuyu, so but I did not apply to be born a Kikuyu. I did not apply to be born a Kikuyu. There is no crime I've committed by being Kikuyu. And there's no crime I'll commit by loving my people. There's no crime I'll commit by asking our people that we be united, because that's what all other people are doing. But it is only bad when it's done by the mountaineers. But when the Western people come together, that is regional integration.
But to those who question your ability to rise above regional politics, to lead a country from a national point of view, not a regional point of view, well, what do you tell them?
Rogers, I want to ask you, when I called a press conference in Mombasa to divert the Gen Z when William Ruto and the government were killing them, those Gen Z, were they Kikuyu? They were the children of Kenya. That is nationalism. When I was deputy president, I made sure that people of northeastern Kenya, nobody died from hunger. I have been to Mandera, to Wajir, to Garissa, distributing food, making sure the people of those regions are secure. When I defend the payslip holders, you know the payslip holders, their payslips have been impeached by William Ruto. They are very helpless. Their purchasing power has been eroded, and that is why the economy is crumbling. Because when you erode the payslip, that's the middle class, you diminish their purchasing power, then nothing goes on. There's no money in circulation. And I am saying we must form a government to rescue the payslip. We must dignify the payslip. And when we form the new government, one of the things that we must do, and whoever wants to be in coalition with me and my people, one of the things we must agree is that we must do away with housing levy, because it's not the business of government to build houses. It's the business of government to build roads, to provide water, electricity connectivity, to make sure there is a good working health system, to ensure people have security. That's the work of government. So these are some of the things we are going to do. So when I talk about the payslip holders, are those Kikuyus? They are the people of Kenya. My national credentials are good. It is only that President William Ruto has tried to create a narrative to kill my brand by branding me as tribal. Yet when I was supporting him, when I was mobilizing the Gema nation to support him, he used to call me all sorts of good names. He was fond of me. He would say how good I am, how people-centered I am. It's only when we don't agree, he says I'm a tribalist. This tribal tag that people try to put to me is a creation of William Ruto. Just the way he convinced us that Raila is a witch doctor. He's a lot of poverty. Now that they are with Raila, he has now zeroed in on Rigathi Gachagua as a tribalist. He says I'm primitive, I'm retrogressive, I'm incompetent. He is very good with words, and he's very persuasive. He's very abusive. You remember the abuses he gave against William Ruto. Those are the same now abuses he is targeting me. Every election he must have a target. Last election, the object of hatred created by William Ruto was Raila Odinga. He's a witch doctor, he doesn't go to church, he is the Lord of poverty, he is clueless, he has no plan. Now, this coming election of 2027, the whole game plan is Rigathi Gachagua, he's a tribalist, huyu ni mtu wa shares, huyu wa nini, but people are also very intelligent. People are very intelligent, okay. And they know now what they can trust and what they cannot trust. You can fool some people sometime,
but not all the people.
But you cannot fool all the people all the time. People have known William Ruto now. Okay. He's been unmasked. Those insults he gives against people, nobody now can believe him, because he's the one who told us Raila is a witch doctor. Today, 2 years down the line, he is saying Raila is the best man in Africa. So whatever he says now has no value. If in unfortunate event, God forbid, okay, I went back to William Ruto and we patched up, he would now say Rigathi Gachagua is a nationalist. And now he's saying today I'm tribal. I am not tribal. That is a tag that William Ruto has tried to put on me, and in the fullness of time, the people of Kenya will know who Rigathi Gachagua is. They will know what I believe in. And many people, by the way, believe me because I'm truthful. In difficult circumstances, when this country was burning, when the president said Gen Zs are criminals, is Rigathi Gachagua who called a press conference and said, no, these are our children, they are our sons and daughters, and they should not be killed, they should not be abducted, they should be listened to.
Since we have adequate time till 11 p.m., I just want to take you back to your sentiments about Raila Odinga, because in the event you choose to support Raila Odinga, what makes you think you'll succeed where Uhuru failed? Persuading the mountain to vote for him?
I don't know. Well, let's cross the bridge when we reach there. Does Raila Odinga want to be president, or he wants to support William Ruto? I think let's leave that discussion to when Raila Odinga has made up his mind. If he decides he wants to be president, then we can have that conversation. I think right now it is premature to talk about his candidature because we are not sure. I'm listening to Ruto people saying that he'll support Ruto. I'm listening to some ODM people whom the president has paid. And the president is very good in dividing people. And let me tell the ODM people, the same way he tried to divide the mountain, he's going to divide ODM. And you can see already some ODM characters who are being paid are already dividing ODM. You can find there is one section in ODM that is supporting William Ruto. There is another one of Akina, Sifuna, Orengo, Anyang, who are talking a different language. I see very serious attempt by the president to divide ODM. And you know, one time I asked him, when we were pushing Baba to go to African Union, and we were talking. We were not good friends, but we were talking. We would have a conversation. And I asked him, this Raila thing you are pushing, what's the head game? He said, fine, we want this Mzee to go to AU so that I can take over his block. I said, how will you take it up? He said, let's the ODM, I'll finish it, I'll destroy it, I'll take it over. And once Baba is gone, I'll have a few days, I'll get the MPs, everybody rally them behind me. That's what he told me then. And I think if Baba went, to a certain extent, he would have succeeded in dividing ODM. I don't think that is possible now, because I think Raila Odinga has built ODM for 20 years. I don't think even if he wants to work with William Ruto, he'll allow him to destroy ODM. I think he'll still want to have ODM as a strong party. And if he wants to have a coalition with William Ruto, he would have ODM as a distinct political entity. What I would not understand is at what he would be in that coalition, because Raila's dream has been to be president. And by his status, even age, experience, exposure, he is presidential. I don't know what other role he would play in a coalition with William Ruto, but that's his decision. Once he makes a decision what he wants, then we can have that discussion. But I think it's premature now to pre, because we don't know. Because I hear a lot of Kaluma, Junet, those they are saying that they are backing William Ruto. So I think it's premature to discuss whether he can be supported or not, because he has not decided what he wants. Once he decides and he says he is a candidate, then we'll sit with Kalonzo, we'll sit with Wamalwa, we'll sit with Atebea, Matiang'i, myself and others, and we look at the whole scenario. And whatever suits Kenya, I want to, from my end, I'm very selfless. So is my community. Whatever suits Kenya, whatever formula that can work to restore this country, to bring back our country, to fix our economy, to fix our foreign relations. As we speak, we are in very bad state. And even, by the way, we had a very good candidate for the AU seat, Raila Odinga. But the president buggered it, by the way. You know, and I feel for Raila Odinga. And by the way, I wished him well. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I really wanted him to be the AUC chairman so that he can have a dignified exit. This is a man who has gone through hell. He has been in detention for 8 years. He almost lost his family. He's a man who has really struggled. He was championed the second liberation. He has fought for democracy. He was very instrumental in the 2010 constitution. I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, felt that if he became the AUC chair, it was a very dignified exit for a man who has given his life for this country. It didn't work because the government buggered it. By the way, had President William Ruto kept off that campaign, Raila would have been elected.
All right.
The minute he made, you know, people hate projects, not just here in the country, but even in Africa and the world. Raila Odinga was perceived to be a William Ruto project to take him to the AU to sort out his political problems in Kenya. And therefore, many African presidents had a problem with that. from what we gather. They said, we don't want William Ruto to dump Raila in AU to sort out his problems at home. So many people had a problem with that. Again, they were also not able to study the geopolitics in a proper manner and see how to handle them. Then the way the president handled the DRC issue, he rubbed many people the wrong way. Again, I don't know who advised these people. There was no need to take a cheering squad to Addis Ababa. You know, this election is a highly diplomatic maneuver, you know, whispering to the ears of presidents, because it was very demeaning to African presidents to think that you can persuade them to vote for Raila Odinga by bringing a cheering squad, singing Bado Mapambano outside the hall. I mean, it was very demeaning to African presidents.
So that was a diplomatic blunder.
It was a diplomatic blunder.
Okay.
This guy who won came with only 4 people. Because these are presidents, these are people who make decisions based on many facts. You cannot persuade them by cheering, by bringing a crowd to sing around there and all that. And even many diplomats were very offended by Kenya, by the kind of show that they took there to Addis. So